At 37,000 feet above the Atlantic, a baby's piercing wails cut through the first-class cabin like an alarm. For 3 relentless hours, 7-month-old Lily Grant had been inconsolable. Her tiny hands clenched, face red with exhaustion. Her father, tech giant Ethan Grant, rocked her desperately, while passengers cast irritated glances, their premium seats now chambers of sleepless agony. This overnight flight to London had become a battleground, with social lines drawn in luxury and judgment. Ethan had tried everything: bottles, soothing apps, high-end carriers, but nothing worked. His assistant, Noah Blake, whispered urgently about managing the fallout, while Chief Flight Attendant Clara Holt kept her polished smile, though her eyes signaled imminent action to restore order in her domain. Meanwhile, in the economy, 24-year-old Amara Hayes gripped her scholarship interview letter with trembling hands, her compression gloves, earned from 2 years at a children's sensory clinic, forgotten in her lap. She opened her sign language app, then closed it, her focus drawn to a pressing issue. To her trained ear, the baby's cries weren't random chaos. The swallowing pattern, leg movements, and distinct pitch pointed to a clear condition. Amara's hands instinctively traced pressure points she mastered while volunteering with kids who had hearing impairments and sensory disorders. Her thoughts flashed to her younger brother, Jamal, who'd suffered similar episodes while their working-class family couldn't afford specialists. She'd become their makeshift expert, learning infant calming techniques out of necessity, not elite training. Those sleepless nights at 17, pacing with Jamal as his tiny body writhed in distress while her parents worked double shifts, had shaped her into someone who could read a child's pain like a medical chart. Next to her sat Mrs. Harper, a 71-year-old retired pediatric nurse with wise eyes and weathered hands. She noticed Amara's gloves and the way she tensed with each cry. "You know what you're doing, don't you, dear?" she murmured, seeing in Amara the echoes of her own deferred dreams shaped by family duty. Amara's blood chilled as she noted Lily's symptoms, the exact swallowing pattern, arched back, and leg kicks mirroring Jamal's near crisis. The wealthy father was holding his daughter entirely wrong for her condition, each soothing attempt worsening her distress. Amara saw Ethan's face crumble with every failed effort, recognizing the same helpless dread she'd seen in her mother's eyes years ago. The difference? Her family had no choice but to solve it. He had every resource except the right expertise. Clara's voice crackled over the intercom. "Please maintain order in the cabin." Noah muttered to a colleague about avoiding bad press. Amara faced a gut-wrenching choice: stay unseen in economy, where she belonged, or risk everything by stepping into first class, where people like her were unwelcome. Her scholarship interview was in 12 hours. Her future hinged on it. Mrs. Harper squeezed her hand with worn fingers. Sometimes the greatest courage is stepping into the light when someone needs you most. What unfolds next will challenge every assumption about who deserves a voice. But first, this unseen girl must face her greatest fear. Amara rose on shaky legs, her scholarship letter crumpled in her sweaty palm. The burgundy curtain dividing economy from first class loomed like a fortress gate, one she was never meant to breach. Her heart pounded as she approached, every instinct urging her to retreat. "Excuse me, miss." Clara appeared, her smile sharp as crystal. "First class is for ticketed passengers only." Amara's voice was barely audible. "The baby? I think I can help. I'm a nanny, and I've worked with sensory disorders. We have protocols for this." Clara cut her off with clinical precision. Our crew is trained for all passenger needs. Return to your seat." Lily's cries hit a new pitch of desperation, tightening Amara's chest with recognition. Passengers began recording, some demanding refunds. Ethan's polished confidence visibly cracked as he failed again to comfort his daughter. Amara saw his shoulders tremble with exhaustion and a deeper fear, the terror of a parent who'd already lost too much. She knew that fear from countless nights with Jamal. Then Mrs. Harper stood with quiet authority, bypassing Clara as if she didn't exist. Her retired nurse badge glinted as she approached Ethan. "Mr. Grant," she said with calm command, "this young woman has experience with children showing your daughter's exact symptoms. She knows pressure point therapy and sensory techniques most doctors never learn." Amara stepped forward, her voice steadying despite her racing pulse. "I'm a nanny. I've worked with kids with sensory disorders. May I try?" Clara interjected. "We have strict safety protocols." Mrs. Harper handed Ethan her badge, carrying 4 decades of weight. "She knows what she's doing." I've watched her analyze that baby's symptoms for an hour. Ethan glanced between his screaming daughter and this timid stranger, his executive veneer shattered. 3 hours of failure had stripped him bare, leaving a desperate father. "You can try," he said, voice heavy with fatigue. "But I'll watch every move." His eyes met Amara's briefly, two people from opposite worlds bound by care for someone vulnerable. Clara's jaw tightened, but she stepped back. Passengers leaned in, sensing something momentous. Amara's hands moved with surprising precision, muscle memory overriding nerves. "Hold her upright against your chest, the koala position. It helps with reflux." Her quiet voice carried authority as she guided Ethan into the anti-reflux hold. She opened her sign language app. Kids with sensory issues respond to visual cues when sounds overwhelm them. She showed hand signals for safe and calm before Lily's tearful eyes. "Can you dim the lights and lower the fan noise?" The stimulations overloading her system. As the cabin softened to an amber glow, Amara pressed Lily's back, hitting pressure points with trained accuracy. These points regulate breathing and calm overstimulated nerves. I learned this working with autistic kids and sensory disorders. Lily's screams faded to hiccups, then soft whimpers. It was like a miracle unfolding. The cabin exhaled in relief. Someone clapped softly. Ethan's eyes brimmed with respect and gratitude that Amara rarely saw aimed at her. "Thank you," he whispered, voice thick. For the first time in hours, Lily was calm, her tiny chest rising steadily. Ethan offered Amara an empty first-class seat, a silent acknowledgement that she belonged. As she sat, hesitant, he admitted, "I've read every parenting book and still fail constantly." "Kids don't read books," Amara said softly, her wisdom born of experience, not degrees. "They read our hearts." His smartwatch chimed, playing a lullaby his late wife recorded during pregnancy, her voice warm with hope for the daughter she'd barely hold. Amara's eyes lit with recognition, and she hummed along, her voice blending perfectly. Lily's breathing synced with the rhythm, her body fully relaxing. Ethan stared, stunned. "That song, how do you know it?" "My mother sang it to my brother during his reflux episodes," Amara said, voice soft with memory. "The rhythm mimics a calm heartbeat. It's proven to regulate infant breathing. My grandmother taught her, and she taught me." The moment hung heavy with shared purpose. Noah pulled Clara aside, whispering about PR. Clara's icy reply, "She's just a nanny." Ethan caught Amara humming his wife's melody, warmth flickering in his eyes before he reined it in. Something profound was shifting. Then turbulence jolted the cabin, waking Lily. Her cries sparked 3 other babies, creating a chaotic chorus. Clara rushed forward, her mechanical grip worsening Lily's screams. Amara's heart sank as Lily's face reddened, her back arching in sensory overload. Clara whispered to a first-class passenger, "She's just a nanny, no credentials." Causing trouble. The passenger, a sharp-eyed woman in her 70s, bristled. "I saw her do more in 5 minutes than you did in 3 hours of protocol." Mrs. Harper squeezed Amara's trembling hand. "Don't repeat my mistake backing down before proving your worth." Amara's voice steadied. "We need a warm towel and white noise." The turbulence overstimulated her. She guided Ethan back to the koala hold, her hand steadying his. Her touch was sure, and Ethan studied her focus, the intensity in her eyes, her lip caught between her teeth. This was expertise, not luck. Lily's cries softened as Amara applied pressure points. When Ethan grabbed the towel, their hands brushed, sparking a fleeting connection. Amara pulled back, flushed. Passengers watched, awed, as Lily settled. Clara stood, humiliated, her authority crumbling before an economy passenger who knew more. Ethan's "thank you" carried weight, his gaze lingering. Severe turbulence hit, lurching the plane. Lily's screams triggered a cascade of crying babies. Pressure changes worsened her reflux, causing spit-up. Passengers filmed, some live streaming. Noah urged waiting for a doctor, but Ethan was unraveling, hands shaking as he tried Amara's techniques. "I did everything right," he choked. "Why isn't it working?" Amara saw the terrified father, not the CEO. "You're doing it perfectly," she said. "But Lily needs your calm, not just your hands. What if I'm not enough?" He confessed, voice raw. "What if I fail her like I failed her mother?" His vulnerability silenced the first class. Even Clara paused, struck by his pain. Amara placed her hand over his, steadying him. "You'd only fail by letting fear teach her to be afraid. She needs your love." She sensed their movements to the lullaby. Lily's cries softened, her body relaxing. Ethan's grief began to lift. Mrs. Harper stood, addressing the cabin with hospital-honed authority. This young woman didn't just save a baby. She taught a father to parent from love, not fear. The first-class woman stood, phone raised. "Flight attendant, let her lead. I recorded you calling her a troublemaker." It's going viral. Her video showed thousands of shares. "My granddaughter has autism. I know expertise, and I know prejudice." The cabin erupted in support. Ethan, holding a calm Lily, spoke with humility. "This woman didn't just save my daughter. She saved me from fear since losing my wife." He looked at Amara. "Thank you, Amara Hayes, for showing me true courage." Applause roared. Clara stood frozen as her comments trended, her reputation crumbling. Amara felt tears of validation. She was seen. Lily cooed, as if grateful. Noah approached Amara. "Mr. Grant wants you to consult on our sensory-friendly tech initiative. We've been designing from theory, not experience." Ethan added, "I'll fund your scholarship. Will you consult?" "We need someone who gets real families," Amara stammered. "I don't have credentials." Mrs. Harper cut in. "Experience is the highest credential." Ethan called his mother, Evelyn, on video. "Mom, meet Amara Hayes. She taught me to be present, not perfect." Evelyn smiled warmly. "Thank you, dear. I saw my son become a true father tonight." Mrs. Harper gave Amara her worn journal of pediatric notes. "Use this to write the future I couldn't." Clara approached, remorseful. "I was wrong about you, Miss Hayes. I let bias cloud my judgment." Amara replied, "Thank you." "It takes courage to grow." Ethan nodded. "Clara, I'll recommend sensitivity training for your crew growth, not punishment." Noah proposed Lily's future fund for sensory resources, with Amara leading. Lily reached for Amara's finger, sealing their bond. As the plane descended, Ethan, now a confident father, said, "Stay in London after your interview. Lily and I could use a friend." Amara's heart raced. "I'd like that," she whispered. Mrs. Harper gave her a silver pen from her nursing days. "Write the future I couldn't." 6 months later, Amara, in a lab coat as a child development specialist, signed her first research paper with that pen. Ethan and Lily laughed in a park, their bond strong. Lily's future fund helped families. Clara embraced family-friendly flights, and Amara's voiceover closed. Some doors opened to trembling hands. Courage makes the invisible visible through small acts of bravery. The final image showed Amara writing in the journal, Lily playing, and Ethan beside them. 3 lives transformed by one moment of compassion. If this story touched you, share it. Your courage can change the world.